Identifying.
The king of cakes. Chopper for the win.
G'day guys, welcome back to Cakes by Chopper. Today we have PinkStylist, who is part of our YouTuber series. I absolutely love Charlie's videos, so please check him out after this cake. What you're going to do is head over to the Cakes by Chopper Facebook page, print off your template. Once you've cut it out, you're going to fold in all of Charlie's little hair wisps, and then cut out his jawline nice and straight, and then you can just loosely cut around the shape of his forehead because his hair will hide that. For this cake I also separated it and then gave it a filling of buttercream. This was a boysenberry, which I think suited the vanilla flavored cake. Delicious. Okay, so once that's done, place it on top, go around, fill in the edges, and then you can start on the crumb coat. We're actually not going to cover this cake in fondant because the top part is going to be a fondant piece. So you want to do your crumb coat nice and even, pop it into the fridge, let that chill for about 5 minutes, then you bring it out and apply your second layer of buttercream, and this is the one that you get nice and smooth. Get it nice and neat all around the edges and then smooth off the top. For this specific design I went around and piped on these little stars all the way around. And a little tip here, if you've got warm hands like I do, keep 2 ice packs next to you and you can just pop your icing bag in between them when it starts to get a bit too soft. Go all the way around and a lip around the edge, then you can pop that into the fridge to chill again for 5 minutes while you prepare your flesh coloured fondant. As you can see here, I start off with a pink and then add a little bit of yellow, and that gives me the nice flesh tone. Roll that out, then you're going to cut out Charlie's face. Remembering to keep the jawline nice and even, but the top of the hair doesn't really matter at this stage. Smooth it off around the edge with your finger and then place it aside to dry a little bit. Referring back to your template, cut out the shape of Charlie's eye, and then you're going to cut that out of white fondant. Try and keep it as thin as possible. Then you're going to do the same with his teeth. When you're working with really thin fondant, I find it's easier to put a little bit extra cornstarch on the bench top. Using your template, place them on, making sure you put a little bit of water under them so they stick, and then gently remove the template. Now you have the right shape for his facial features. Roll out a little snake that tapers on at each end and place it under the teeth for his lip. Now this will take just a little bit of modifying here and there until you're happy with the look of it. Just remember to keep the shape of his lip and not go too big. Do the same for the eyelid, and then you're going to roll a really thin snake across the top of his lip, and then it's time to paint on some of the details. I put a light brown colour underneath Charlie's lip for his beard, and then I went over later with some detail. Once again, referring back to the template, I marked out where Charlie's nose is on his face and then painted that in with some black gel food dye. The same with his eyeball, I just cut it out, placed it on and traced around it really lightly, then added in the detail. I let his eye fully dry before I add any colour to it later on. Now this is a good time to go and mark off where his teeth are. I just placed it underneath and then got a guideline and painted in very gently. Please be careful painting on any details because once you mess it up you'll have to cut it off and start again. Now it's time to add a few little dots all over the brown patch you painted for his little goatee. And now you can go and put in his ear details. And then you're going to paint in his eyebrow just using the template once again. The template is your saving grace. It keeps everything in proportion and gives you the right shape. By the time you've done that, you should be ready to add some colour to his eye. I went and put a light brown in the base colour and then painted over it with lots of dark brown shapes. Then I used some gold and pink petal dust, which I mixed together to create this fleshy tone. And that's going to be the shadows and contours, I guess, of Charlie's face, which I went around and placed here. It looks quite shiny on the video, but when you see it from the top, it actually settles and gives him a bit of depth. Rolling out some black fondant, cut out the entire shape of his hair. Then you're going to place them both on top of the cake, and you can fill in any gaps at the side to make the cake look nice and neat so it's covered all over. Apply a little bit of water underneath Charlie's hair so it doesn't slide around. To give the hair a little bit of texture and depth, I got some shimmer dust on a thin brush, marked out a few highlight parts, and then got a wet brush and went over the top. And then I gently worked it all around to make it look like the hair had shape and body. And I was quite happy with the result. Now, if you're not familiar with Charlie's channel, he is PinkStylist here on YouTube. I don't know how you wouldn't know him. He's incredible. Please go check out his makeup tutorials and also his Omegle videos because they are hilarious. Tell him Chopper sent you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments who you'd love to see next in the YouTuber series. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.